Hi students, advent of European colonization and its impact on Indian society. Now let us introduce to this lesson. India's contact with the West is at least 5 centuries old and has brought tremendous changes in socio-cultural aspects. Vasco da Gama, a Portuguese, has found the sea route to India in 1498. As a result, the English, French, Portuguese and the Dutch came to India for trade. Portuguese, being the first to have contact with western coast, did not have a significant impact on Indian culture, except spread of Christianity. Industrial Revolution, which took place in England in the 18th century, has brought tremendous changes in a number of events across the world. Industrial Revolution led to the increase in demand for raw materials for the factories in Europe. This also created a need to explore for new markets to sell their finished goods. India, with plenty of natural resources and people, have provided a platform to Britain to fulfill all their needs. During the initial period, the foreigners planned to build up trade relations with India. Due to internal struggle in India during the 18th century, has paved the way for the Britishers to conquer and rule the country for almost 200 years. This long stay has influenced the socio-cultural aspects in the Indian society. Now let us discuss about the objectives of this lesson. After completing the study, you will be able to discuss the economic impact during British rule, explain the impact of West on Indian society and culture, explain various reforms took place in Indian society. Now let us discuss the impact of the West. The influence of the West on the Indian society and culture can be analyzed in the following ways. The first one is impact on education. The Britishers have shown keen interest to introduce English as a medium of instruction in the educational institutions in India for many reasons. The first strategy was that the Indian people can be employed for low wages as clerks, which will reduce their administrative expenditure. Indians will be loyal to the Britishers who were taught to appreciate the British culture and ideas. This will also help them in expanding their business in India. Britishers, in place of traditional education, have introduced Western formal educational system in India. For example, schools, colleges, universities, and which were open for all sections of the people irrespective of caste, creed, gender and other factors. Western education has broadened the vision and the outlook of the people, which made them to become conscious of their rights. The Wood's Dispatch of 1854 gave directions to the government of India to take the responsibility of providing education to all sections of people. Though the policy could not cater the needs of the Indian people, English education and Western ideas had some positive impact on the society. Social reformers like Raja Ram Mohan Roy, 𝗧𝗦𝗔𝗧 𝗧𝗦𝗔𝗧, Swami Dayananda Saraswati, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan and Swami Vivekananda absorbed Western ideas of liberalism and democracy. Education has spread the ideas of nationalism, socio and economic equality, which was extensively debated and discussed on various platforms. Western education and English language helped the Indians to adopt modern, rational, democratic, liberal and patriotic outlook. It also helped in spread of new fields of knowledge of science, humanities and literature. If we see in the traditional Indian society, the educational opportunities were limited only for a section of people, especially the upper caste people, especially the Brahmin community used to have all the privileges to go to the educational institution and pursue and continue their education, whereas the rest of the other communities in the caste hierarchy were denied. Mostly the Brahmins, the Kshatriyas and the Vaishyas had the privilege of going to the educational institutions and the rest of the other communities were denied of this. And coming to women, especially women were never allowed to go to the educational institutions at all. They were being discriminated. They were expected to stay at home, take care of household activities, and after getting married, her duty is to take care of husband, give birth to children, and take care of household activities. But once Britishers came to India, they have seen this Indian population as a human resource, and they thought that most of the people or majority of the Indian masses are illiterate or uneducated. So they thought that if we are going to introduce English education and allow all the people to come into the mainstream, then obviously they will be favoring the Britishers, and obviously with the support of the Indians to the Britishers, they thought that they can make more profits, and the educated people can also be a source so that they can work for the Britishers. So they have opened English medium schools, and they have opened the schools for all sections of people, irrespective of caste, irrespective of creed, irrespective of regionality. And to some extent, because in the traditional Indian society, we have discrimination, or we did not allow the women to mingle with the male counterpart easily. So the Britishers have opened the schools and colleges as well as universities separately for the women in the country, by which they thought that they can develop the literacy level within the country. Now let us discuss the impact on legal system. Before Britishers invaded India, there used to be traditional caste panchayats and village panchayats, which vary from place to place. In place of this traditional legal system, Britishers have introduced a modern law, nothing but uniform legal code and legislation, which is equally applicable to all the people across the country. They have also introduced courts and police system to establish the rule of law in India. However, these laws or courts were not easily available to the Indians and have become a costly affair. A clear discrimination is also found between Europeans and Indians in terms of approaching the judicial system and in getting justice. For example, in the traditional Indian society, we have caste panchayats. Each and every caste has their own panchayat. Panchayat is nothing but a dispute. If there is any problem pertaining to socio-economical or any problems, this panchayat system used to listen to both the versions of the people, and they used to give the verdict. So in the traditional caste panchayat system, we do not have written set of rules and regulations or any laws at all. So based on the consensus, they used to listen to both the people and they used to give the verdict. So this panchayat system was headed by Sarpanch. The beauty of this word, like how it has been coined, it is a combination of two words, Sar plus Panch. It is the Hindi words. Sar means head and Panch means five. That means 5 elder people pertaining to the caste used to sit and listen to both the versions, and after that they used to, based on consensus, they used to give the verdict. But the verdict may not be the same. Remember, the verdict may not be the same if you see among the individuals, even though if they have done the same mistake or committed the same mistake, my dear friends. And if there is any conflict between two caste people, at the time the dominant caste in the hierarchy is going to sit and the panchayat is going to give the verdict. Whether it's right or wrong doesn't matter, the subordinate caste in the hierarchy has to simply follow it. For example, let us see the injustice which happened in India. If any person in the Indian society other than Brahmins or the upper caste people try to learn the Vedas or listen to the Vedas, do you know what was the punishment given to them? They used to simply put the hot oil into the ear, or else they used to cut their tongue so that they cannot recite the Vedas, or else they cannot learn it. That is how they have denied the opportunities of learning or gaining the knowledge. So there was discrimination in terms of all the activities, or in terms of using the resources which are there in the village, or in terms of interacting with the people, or what not, my dear friends. So when the Britishers came to India, they have seen all these problems. So in place of this traditional caste panchayats, do you know what they have done? They have brought uniform legal system or code which is equally applicable to all the people. They have also set up courts so that if any person is felt that there is injustice being done to him, he or she can approach the courts and can fight for the justice or seek justice, my dear friends. Here we have set of rules and regulations, and they have created a formal setup to provide justice for the people. Now let us discuss the impact on economic system. The traditional Indian villages were self-sufficient and self-reliable. The 𝗳𝗍 system played a pivotal role in economic relations among the individuals with two classes of people. They are 𝗳𝗍 or 𝗳𝗍, who are the upper caste people, and the 𝗂𝗡, usually the lower caste people. The 𝗂𝗡 used to perform various functions to the upper caste people and in turn used to receive grains or other goods in turn. Britishers have introduced a modern capitalist mode of economy which had a negative effect on the traditional economic relations which existed in India. New commercial establishments, banks, new accounting systems, joint ventures, cooperatives and others came into existence. Indian textiles like silk, cotton, woolen goods had the market in Asia and Africa. Due to industrialization, Britishers exported a large amount of clothes weaved by machines to India, which posed a great threat to the Indian handicraft industries. In order to promote their business, they started selling the products for cheaper rates, as well the foreign products were given free entry in India. That means there is no tax or they are duty free. On the other hand, they have imposed huge taxes on the products which were exported to the other countries from India. Due to this, the Indian market have become a mere supply of raw material and importer of finished goods from British. It created unemployment for a large section of people, especially weavers who were forced to migrate in search of employment opportunities. For example, in the traditional Indian society, we have 𝗳𝗍 system, and in this system we have two types of classes. One is 𝗳𝗍, nothing but the owner or the upper caste people, and the 𝗂𝗡, nothing but the working class or the lower caste people. The 𝗳𝗍 will get the services from the 𝗂𝗡. The 𝗂𝗡 are going to exchange the goods, or else they are going to render the services to the upper caste people, and in turn they are going to get the benefits from the upper caste or the 𝗳𝗍. For example, a barber goes to a farmer and he cuts the hair, and in turn the farmer is going to give the grains to the barber. The same way, a potter may give his pots to other caste people, and in turn he may get the services or else he may get the goods from the other people. A weaver, after weaving the cloth, he may give it to the jamindar and he may also get the grains or any other services. So this kind of system was there. So all the caste people, they used to manufacture or produce the goods, not profit oriented system. They never thought that they are going to manufacture more products and sell it outside and make profit or make money. That was not the intention of the traditional Indian society. Their main duty was to manufacture so that the goods or the services will be applicable to each and every section of people, my dear friends. But when Britishers came to India, what they have done? They have introduced this economical system, and they have given due importance to currency. So instead of this exchanging the services and goods, now in terms of changing or the products, currency came into existence. Now people started selling or using this currency to sell their goods or else to purchase the goods. So once this currency came into existence, people have become little bit selfish, and all the caste people who are indulged into any activity of production, they have become profit entity units. Who can compete, they have excelled, and who could not compete in the market, they have simply lost their professions and their livelihood too. Now let us discuss the impact on agriculture sector. The British policies in India have introduced a large number of commercial crops. For example, like tea, coffee, indigo, opium, cotton, sugarcane, etc. Even though commercial crops were introduced, Indians could not reap profits as the business was in the control of British traders. Commercialization of agriculture enhanced the speedy transfer of land or ownership, which increased the number of landless laborers. Due to the demand for commercial crops, traditional crops or else food grain production went low. Now let us discuss the impact on society and culture at large. Under that, the first one is lifestyles. Due to the contact with the Western people over a period of time, Indians have adopted the Western lifestyles. They have adopted Western dress patterns and dining. The restrictions on food habits which were found in the traditional society has been relaxed. The consumption of food like carrot, beetroot, onion, garlic, etc., which earlier faced taboos, have become more acceptable in the country. The second one is on influence on caste system. The upper and dominant caste people in the caste hierarchy have enjoyed all social and religious privileges, and the lower caste people were denied. Restrictions were found in terms of dining, offering food, utilization of resources available in the village or community, marriages, etc. Due to westernization or advancement in transport and communication, the distance between the caste people came down. The third factor is influence on evil practices. In 19th century, certain social practices like female infanticide, child marriages, sati system and polygamy were prevalent. Britishers, in order to liberate women from the evil practices and improve the status of women in India, have banned the practices of sati in 1829. Widow remarriage was permitted by law in 1856. Intercaste and interfaith marriages were legalized through acts passed in 1872, and Sharada Act was passed to stop child marriages in the year 1929. Now let us discuss the impact on standard of living or material life. The traditional society revolved around the religious philosophy of dharma, artha, kama and moksha, nothing but salvation. It motivated and inspired the people to be more religious in their outlook and adopt and practice various methods to attain salvation. Westernization has changed the perception of the people towards living and material aspects. It promoted extensive production of goods and adoption of material wealth, which provided a comfortable and luxurious life. Due to this, the religious belief system has become weak. Now let us discuss the impact on technology. In traditional Indian society, man and animal power was extensively used in the production process. Modernization process has led to the adopting of new technology and shedding of age-old technology in India. Modernization or influence of westernization or Western technology paved the way for small and large-scale industries at a massive level. It has influenced all production process, including agriculture. Modernization led to the process of industrialization, which in turn led to the growth of towns and cities, which attracted the rural people. Advancement in technology is found in the fields of transport, communication and production process, have been successfully in spread of modern values and Western lifestyle in India. Now let us discuss the impact on transport and communication system. In India, the means of transportation was through bullock carts, camels, etc. But Britishers need a modern transport system to connect between raw material producing areas to the exporting ports for speedy movement of raw material to the ports and finished goods to various parts of the country. So that the Britishers have introduced the railways in India, which benefited them in two ways. First, it helped the speedy movement of goods and raw materials, which procured them profits. Secondly, it attracted a number of capitalists and bankers to come to India and invest in railways, which guaranteed them minimum 5% profits. However, railways have played a vital role in national awakening of the country and in sharing the ideas among the people across the country. Now let us discuss the impact on values and ideologies. Western education and culture has introduced new values and ideologies in the Indian society, such as humanitarianism, egalitarianism, rationalism and secularism. According to M.N. Srinivas, humanitarianism is meant as an active concern for the welfare of all human beings irrespective of caste, economic position, religion, age and sex. Egalitarianism is the principle of equality of sex, caste, creed, race, religion, etc. Rationalism, it promotes a system of belief system which is both rational and empirical and not based on belief system or traditions. Whereas secularism is the state must be free of independent of religion. That means the state must be free or independent of religion. It should not promote any specific religion or use the ideology in the functioning of society, education, morals, etc. Now let us discuss on social reforms and freedom struggle. The British rule has inspired a number of social reforms in the country. Western education and culture inspired the people to discard a number of traditional beliefs and practices which are not useful for the societal functioning. The social reformers have fought against evil practices, brought awareness among the masses on rational thinking and to adopt new values which allow all the people to enjoy the life to the fullest without any discrimination. Western ideas and values not only inspired the people to take up social reforms but also inspired the people to fight for the freedom of the country. Freedom fighters starting from Gokhale, Tilak, Mahatma Gandhiji, 𝗧𝗏 Patel, Subhash Chandra Bose have been inspired to strengthen the freedom struggle movement. Even in the 21st century, it is found that the West and its culture have an influence on Indian society. The young people are being attracted towards the Western way of life and are inspiring to get Western education which can find them better employment opportunities. We have observed that the impact of West had both positive as well as negative effects on the Indian society.